Legend of Total War here, and today we've got another Hall of Shame entry. Alright, so this is now the third video I've made in regard to the Hall of Shame. I think this is something that will benefit the community, but we've got to also take into account, certain justifications. So I want to refine what is considered to be Hall of Shame, because obviously people will have different definitions, and I think it's important that we be as fair as possible. So if a person drops out in the loading of the battle, that is not a drop hack. If the person drops out within the first, say, 20 seconds of a battle, and the other person is using cheese, for example, the squig spam. If it's just an army that they don't approve of, then that's still a drop hack. Only if it's like definite cheese, and I'm not saying tournament rules either. Okay, I don't consider tournament rules to be how you have to play Warhammer quick battles. So if it's definitely cheese, then I would consider it acceptable. If it's just an army, say if it's got 4 demigryph knights in it amongst other things, then I don't consider that to be an appropriate response. Okay, so what I'm going to do also is I don't know how many emails I'm going to get from people in regard to replays, but I just got another one in, and I want to show them so that you guys can see what these drop hacks are like. So we want to actually show what these people are doing. So alright, so first thing we're going to do is going to go into the replay. So this was sent in by, let's see, I gotta find it. Sent in by Ice Tea Banano. Okay, and Han Baking the Salt has been accused of drop hacking. So let's watch this replay. I've already watched it once, so I can confirm. And so you guys can get an idea of exactly what this drop hacking is. Now, obviously, some people are coming into problems with the term drop hacking, because it's not exactly like hacking the game. I know if we can come up with a better name for it. To be honest, drop hacking, to me, sounds correct. Well, maybe draw hacking and drop hacking. So this is a draw hack, what we're going to see here. Alright, so it's only a 5-minute 40 battle. And he's gone 2 Amber Wizards. Personally, I would consider this to be cheese. That being said, I wouldn't care. I've gone up against this. Because the thing is, 2 Amber Wizards can generate 2, Manticores, and actually really swing the balance in their favor. But I don't know, it's arguable. This is like the lower end of cheese. So he's coming in here for the Squig Herd, which is a bit of a risky move considering the Broken Tusks mob are there. Obviously the flying unit's very good against Squigs, but they're not particularly good against Broken Tusk mob. And the thing is, the Broken Tusk mob can keep them locked down. Not to mention that there's also melee units there. So already one of the Amber Wizards is pretty badly damaged, and he just overcasted what looks like a Flock of Doom there. So he's denying his chance of getting 2 Manticores, which is the only reason why I think he'd bring 2 Amber Wizards. But obviously he's seen that he's made a mistake with that, and in order to get out of that, had to use Flock of Doom. Now he might still be able to use the Manticore thing twice, but it's going to take him a while now to generate that much Winds of Magic. He doesn't do it in the battle though. I don't know why. Whatever. Now what I'm also going to do as of now is I'm going to provide the Steam links to their accounts. So if they change their name, we can constantly readjust. So if they change their name, we can just change it on the video. And I've also decided that if you want to get off the Hall of Shame, there is a way off of it now, and I'll explain that after the video, after the battle. Because I don't think it's fair to put people on a Hall of Shame indefinitely if they're willing to make amends for their mistakes. Because now that I'm doing this, you now can't get away with this shit. I mean, we've already seen that the Doc Holliday, he got kicked out of Clan Bear because of his draw hack. So, repercussions are happening. But I need to be very careful in what I'm doing here, because I don't want to cause, absolute pandemonium. Because the community is good, and we're just going to, this is hopefully, the hope for this is to make it better. I'm sure some people have been saying stuff like, well, you talk about making the community better, but you use cheese. I don't have a problem with cheese. I go up against cheese. I don't, you know, I've lost 2 cheese. I've won against cheese. I don't have a problem with it. And from now on, if you go up against me and I'm using cheese, draw hack in the first 20 seconds, okay? And I won't give you any shit about it. Or in the case, I suppose, that the cheese army is hidden, at the moment it becomes unhidden. If you draw hack, then that's fine. So, for example, if I was to hide my squig spam for a minute in trees, and the person didn't know exactly what it was, and then I unhid it, you then have 20 seconds in which to drop out. If you drop out as the fighting starts, or you know, once the fighting has well since commenced, then it's a hall of shame. Alright, anyway, let's focus on this. So, the balance of power is swinging against the greenskins at the moment, but you'll see soon it'll swing back in their favour. So there's only 2 minutes left of the battle. Some good flanking maneuvers going on. The guns. I don't particularly like guns because you see he's having trouble. What's it called? Arcing the shots. And since he doesn't have any flyer units, really, these guns are having a hard time shooting. And the thing is, they are significantly more expensive than archers, and I think archers would have done a better job. Not to mention they've got more range. So this guy here, not microing that well. It's broken through that. See, the balance of power is not in the greenskin favour. So at this point, it looks like the Empire is winning at this stage, but you know it's still early on in the battle. Well, it's actually late in the battle now. Okay, but here's where things start to change. The broken toss mob break through and they smash into the guns. So these are some fairly expensive units that are basically going to get wrecked. And you can see here it's gone back to being even. Now this guy's about to come in there. And a lot of the routing units are returning. Really keep an eye on this right here. You can see the balance of power just moving ever so slightly in his favour. So at this point now, there we go. Greenskins were winning. This is a textbook draw hack. Okay? So it was pretty obvious that at this point the Greenskins were going to win. They had completely overrun the enemy lines. They were breaking through. And yeah, he was, you know, buffing up his stuff there. And the guy couldn't hack it. And draw hacked. So there is now shame on Han baking the salt. Now, in addition to that, this is somebody who is in the top 100. Okay, so if we come down, he's in ranked 60. Han baking the salt. Again, adding to the illegitimacy of the leaderboard, which, you know, which I'm ranked 35. So, so he's going on the Hall of Shame. Now, I mentioned before how to get off the Hall of Shame, because I don't think it's fair to keep people on here indefinitely. People shouldn't essentially have a death sentence just because they draw hacked once, and people should be allowed the opportunity to redeem themselves regardless of whatever they do. So here's what I propose. If you want to get off my Hall of Shame, first, so taking Han baking the salt as an example, what he needs to do is approach his opponent who was going to win. He needs to get into another quick battle with that person, and he needs to concede defeat and save that replay and send it to me. Upon doing that, the victory is then stripped, is then returned to the rightful victor, and he'll be taken off the Hall of Shame. But until then, basically, if I come up against Han baking the salt, refuse to fight him now because he's a draw hacker. The greenskin player, there was no cheese in that army at all. So, if anything, you know, like I said, he had a bit of cheese in regard to the 2 amber witches, but he didn't really make use of it, so arguable. So, we'll leave it at that. He's going on the Hall of Shame, and hopefully we can start seeing a little bit more honesty in regard to how these people fight. And, you know, I've had a few people actually suggest things like, oh, but what if he lost connection? Pretty fucking convenient to lose connection the moment that you start losing. Like I said, if you do lose connection and it's, you know, legitimately lose connection, the best thing you can do is not hide it and speak out about it. Because the thing is, if you lose connection, it'll usually happen at an awkward position. Like when the battle is like maybe in your favor. Like if something like that happens, obviously we can tell it was an accident. Why would anyone draw hack when the battle's in their favor? If on the very, very rare chance that it actually dropped out, as in legitimately dropped out the connection during, a potential loss, then the best thing you can do is find your opponent, go into a quick battle, concede defeat. You'll get off the Hall of Shame. I think that's the fairest way to handle it. Anyway, guys, I'll leave that with you, and we'll see you next time, fuckers. And don't forget to send in me replays of anyone who draw hacks. I'll do video replays of, depending, of course, on how many replays I get. Hopefully not too many. Depends on how widespread this problem is. But I'll make replay videos of every single one that gets done. Arguably. We'll see. Anyway, see you next time, fuckers.